Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just fed up about this news, man. Every other week, it's about Mason Mount. I understand, the contract extension is obviously a hot topic, but some parts of our fan base act like we're losing a prime Ronaldinho or we're losing a prime Messi or it's mad the way we're reacting about this particular player. So we want to talk about this and more injury news. Badiashile seems like a long-term injury, and a whole heap of transfer news as well. Let's get on with this.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get stuck into all of the news that's been floating around in the last 24 hours or so. We'll start from here. It comes from David Ornstein. Arsenal determined to sign both Rice and Mason Mount. Although for Mount, there is a strong competition from Liverpool and Manchester United, Chelsea will make a final push to extend his terms. Look, first of all, from Chelsea's point of view, I've said it recent times. This is complex. This is really, really complex. It's very complicated. In one hand, Mason Mount has his demands, whether that's money-wise, whether that's contract term-wise, whether that's image-wise, rights-wise, this, that, the other. And on the other hand, Chelsea have their own counter-proposal in terms of how much money they want to give him. We don't have Europe next season, players taking a wage cut. He's not going to be a regular starter. If we play in a 4-2-3-1, where does he start? If we play in a 4-3-3, considering, you're going to have Enzo Fernandez, you're going to have N'Golo Kante, you're going to have a new DM, you're going to, what happens with Santos, what happens to Chukwuemeka. So nothing is set on stone. And that's assuming you're going to let go of Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Conor Gallagher. So nothing is set in stone in regards to Mason Mount. So I can understand the conundrum that we're in. The only thing I want to say about it, and I don't want to elaborate on this too much, is Mason Mount, should we submit to his demands? Is he the type of player that we should just submit to his demands? Is he the type of player that we can put our hands on our heart and say 100% he starts every single match next season? Can we also say, is he the final finished product? Isn't there a lot of development still to happen for Mason Mount? If you're answering, no, that we shouldn't submit to his demand, no, that he's not going to be a regular starter, yes, that he should, there is a bit of development still to happen, then we shouldn't sit here and cry about it. We seriously shouldn't. We've actually given him an offer. Chelsea Football Club has given him an offer. It's him who doesn't want to accept it, and that's fine. If it doesn't meet his requirements, you don't have to accept it. That's okay. But we as Chelsea fans, no need for us to sit here and cry about this. Let's move on. This is not Eden Hazard leaving Chelsea Football Club, and we've moved on from Eden Hazard as well. This isn't prime Frank Lampard in our midfield back in the yesterdays. So this is, for me, I would love to keep Mason Mount, no problems. If Pochettino wants him, I don't have any issues keeping him. I think he brings some value off the bench at least. But some parts of our fan base are acting as if this is it, our club's finished. And with Declan Rice as well. All of this time we've been linked to him. We've not bought him. Now he's going to Arsenal Football Club. And everyone's acting as if, this is downright abysmal situation. This is a disaster. This is a felony. Are you mad? There's a lot of midfielders out there. Rice apparently feels that he hasn't been treated correctly by Chelsea Football Club. Apparently that's the rumors that's going around. I don't know whether that's PR or not, but apparently Rice hasn't liked the approach that Chelsea has done. So be it. He wants to move to Arsenal Football Club. He wants to play European football. So be it. We'll move on. We'll find others. There's Ugarte. There's Caicedo. There's a lot of players in the market in that position that can do a job probably better, if not at least the same level. Look, if both these mates, Mount and Rice, want to be together in Arsenal, so be it. It looks that way, doesn't it? I mean, as I said, I don't have any issues with Mount staying around in Chelsea Football Club. But if he's determined to leave, mate, leave. We don't want any dramas next season. We need to come back to certain level of dignity next season off the back of this season's shambolic performance. Arsenal want to add more creativity in an advanced position, which has fueled their pursuit of Mason Mount. David Ornstein. Creativity, advanced position. Okay, no problems. I mean, look, I'm not saying Mason Mount is not entirely creative, but he ain't no Cesc Fabregas. Let's put it that way. But if Arsenal wants him for the creative purpose, go ahead. No problems at all. Speaking to some sources today, it is going to be very difficult to extend Mason Mount. Really complicated. This is from Fabrizio Romano. I said it. It is complicated. Mason has his demands, and Chelsea simply won't submit to that. And there's a lot of question marks about a lot of things. It's not as straightforward. Next season, no Europe. Next season, players taking pay cut. Some players are taking pay cut. You think it's going to be wise to give Mason Mount in excess of 200k? And we're trying to fix up our wage structure as well. It's just not going to happen. But this is what I commented. But Joe Alexander told me it's not complicated at all. Joe is this idiotic fan on Twitter who pretty much has a go at every other Chelsea player, but he has a problem when anyone has something to say about Mason Mount. I mean, I hate fans like that. Absolutely hate fans like that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section, what's your thoughts on Rice and Mason Mount moving to Arsenal Football Club, potentially? How are you going to feel? Is it the end of the world? Is it an absolute disaster class that this is happening? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, London First. Please follow London First on Twitter. I believe PYS is co-owner on this particular account. It's a website sort of publication who have obviously got a Twitter account as well, but they've got a website where they come up with a whole heap of different articles. And they've got some inside knowledge. So please follow them on Twitter. I'm pretty certain it's co-owned by PYS as well. And this is the recent particular tweet that they posted out. There's an article on it as well, I believe, on their website. We understand that 3 Chelsea scouts are watching Sporting versus Benfica. That was last night. Manuel Ugarte and Gonçalo Ramos are the players on the agenda. We understand it is the final scouting report in Portugal for the season. They will then send them to Winstanley and Stewart. Further goes on to say, Chelsea scouts have finished scouting Romeo Lavia for this season, with the last game watched being last week. Joe Shields wants Lavia, but Chelsea scouts noticed some deficiencies. We understand Lavia is still on the shortlist, but the scouting reports may put him back a bit, depending of course, just how much Winstanley, Stewart, Shields, Poch will take advice of the scouts. Look, and Ugarte apparently was man of the match as well in the match against Benfica last night. Look, I want us to move and get Ugarte and Caicedo if possible. Get 2 midfielders if need be. Romeo Lavia, I don't mind, but I don't think it's clear cut. I think Romeo Lavia, there's strong rumours he's potentially eyeing out a Liverpool move. He may not be completely convinced with Chelsea at the moment, and rightly so. We're a mess at the moment. If we can somehow try and manage to get Ugarte, apparently he's got a very reasonable release clause as well, something around 50 to 60 million euros. We should get this guy. His combination with Enzo Fernandez, I think that could be something special. And there's some now strong rumors brewing around this story that we are looking into Ugarte. Gonçalo Ramos as well, look very mobile forward. Once again, another type of forward that I get worried in the Premier League. Can they adapt? Defensive midfielders, central midfielders from Portuguese league, I don't mind. They generally work out. But attackers from those leagues, like, it can be a little bit susceptible. Do you know what I mean? I think Gonçalo Ramos is quality. He's got the skill set. Very good technical player. But I guess one to look out for. Let me know about Gonçalo Ramos as one of the forward players. I just feel maybe he could struggle in the Premier League. But in regards to Ugarte, I hope we move in. I hope we move in immediately. Manuel Ugarte wins the Man of the Match award against Benfica this evening. Fantastic news. And apparently Liverpool has pulled out from Manuel Ugarte. So hopefully we can get a clear shot and get this guy. I'm pretty sure Poch will appreciate a player like that. Works hard off the ball. Very good on the ball. It just makes sense, man. It makes sense. It'll allow Enzo Fernandez to be a little bit more advanced. And you know, it won't stop Enzo to be deeper at times. I think Enzo is very important for the build-up, but someone like Ugarte, who's very, very good on the build-up as well, will just allow Enzo to be a little bit advanced to find those key passes, much like some of the assists that we've seen from Enzo Fernandez this season. Chelsea priority is to sign someone in midfield with energy and who can run a lot next to Enzo Fernandez. Keep an eye on Caicedo. Look, I think Caicedo is the number one selection, but I would go with both Caicedo and Ugarte if I can. Get rid of Gallagher. Get rid of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Looks like Mason Mount's leaving. Get rid of Kovacic as well. Let's move some of these players on and let's get Caicedo. I highly doubt Arsenal's going to be able to get Rice and Caicedo and Mount. If there is an opportunity to get Caicedo, and I think Brighton are resorting to the situation that they will lose McAllister and Caicedo. McAllister going to Liverpool, it seems like it's almost done. Let's jump on Caicedo. And Caicedo seems like our first target. Let's not screw this up. Our only concern is the money. Brighton know that there is a lot of demand for Caicedo. Anything in excess of £70 million, I think that's a bit too much. Hopefully we can wrap it up with some add-ons, 70 million plus some add-ons based on certain bonuses if he hits, no problems. 80 million, I think that's a bit too much. That's a bit wild. We should be looking at alternatives there. I think Caicedo at the moment for club is the number one selection. But I hope we move on with Ugarte as well. Bring both in. Yes, there's only one game a week next season, but considering injuries, cup matches, we want to go as deep as possible in the cup matches. We shouldn't be dilly-dallying next season. Got to be serious from the get-go. Enzo Fernandez has been playing a lot of matches this season as well. You got to be mindful when to give players some rest and whatnot. We'll get to one of the injury situation with Badiashile. So I want quality. I want quality, and I want at least 4 to 5 midfielders, and get rid of everyone else. Chelsea will attack the market for a defensive midfielder and striker, but on outgoings will be very important. 100% agreed. Chelsea have sent scouts to watch Ugarte multiple times. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea are taking time to decide on the new number 6 because they want the perfect partner for Enzo Fernandez. He needs someone to allow him to be real Enzo, someone who can run a lot. So Caicedo is definitely looking like someone who fits that bill, but Ugarte as well. Ugarte's got a machine. Do you know what I mean? He's got an engine in him. So watch this space. We can't control the club statement from Chelsea. Pochettino has agreed everything and he's working on signs. Look, for me, I'm not worried about this. Maybe this announcement will happen at the end of the season. And right now, you might as well wait. End of season is pretty much next week. And there's nothing to gain by announcing this particular news right now. There's no feel-good factor at the moment in the club. Let this season just pan out. Let this season just finish. Let Frank Lampard move out. And then we can start talking about Mauricio Pochettino after that. Maybe there's some financial fair play implication as well. Maybe we want to announce it after June 30th. I don't know, because apparently Pochettino is in line to start from 1st of July, because we don't want to put Pochettino's acquisition in this season's books. We want to put it in next season's books, because this season we have to balance a lot of things out. So there could be that particular situation which is stopping us from announcing this news, but you best believe he's Chelsea manager. That's what everyone is saying, and Fabrizio Romano has given it the here we go, and everyone's talking about how he's already, participating with all the plans that's taking place for next season. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is going on with Chelsea Football Club and injuries, man. This really needs to be researched. massively. Benoît Badiashile is a particular player that came in January. He shouldn't have any sort of fitness issue. He should have been fit because he was playing for Monaco prior to us. Benoît Badiashile could be out for up to 4 months. Injuries worse than first feared. I think it's got to do with groin injury. I think that's what was said in some of the news reports. I think Nathan Gissing has something about it as well. Let me see if I can bring up Nathan Gissing. But someone really needs to do a research as to why our players continuously keep falling over. What's going on? There's a chance that Badiashile can return to training in 2 months, depending on how recovery goes, but isn't expected to return match action until 3 to 4 months. He's gone for 3 to 4 months. Look, in one essence, I guess it's perfect for Levi Colwell. There should be no more dramas. He should start for us, or he should be part of the squad next season. 100%. If there was any sort of doubt, there shouldn't have been, but if there was. But Benoît Badiashile out for 3 to 4 months, someone we just acquired. What is going on with Kante injured again, Kovacic injured again, all the plethora of injuries that we've seen this season, Reece James, Ben Chilwell injured again, Cucurella, and many more. We have to do some sort of research into this, man. We cannot have this same scenario next season. Players need to be a lot fitter. What they're eating, how they're treating their body, what are they doing after, the workouts, how's their lifestyle, everything needs to be considered. Chelsea defender Benoît Badiashile is expected to miss up to 3 to 4 months with groin injury in which he suffered in training. However, there is hope that he could return sooner. There is no surgery required. Benoît is currently on crutches. There you go. Bad news. Let me know how you feel about that. Benoît Badiashile out for 3 to 4 months, already a player that's not available for next season, for part of next season. And God knows how he's going to come back after that. Is he going to be fully fit? Is there going to be relapse like we see with other players like Tino Livramento for Southampton had that ACL injury and consistently had relapses. Armando Broja as well apparently had some relapses from that ACL injury. Relapse happened. So how are they going to come back? Big question mark. Ben Chilwell, from his massive ACL injury, comes back, doesn't look completely right, slowly recovers, and then tears his hamstring. And then once again, recently, his hamstring. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Bayer Leverkusen already saying goodbye to Callum Hudson-Odoi. And there's still a couple of weeks left, I believe, or a week left, at least this month left in Bundesliga. I mean, look, I know a lot of people have been saying, that's not a big deal. There are clubs out there that are saying goodbye to some of their players. Okay, no problems. But I think what I want to highlight here is if you have flopped in Bundesliga, that's a different level of embarrassment. Generally, attacking players, get sent to Bundesliga to shine, to really spread out their wings and develop. The fact that Callum Hudson-Odoi has flopped monumentally to the point where Xabi Alonso over there doesn't use him. So much so that they've put out a thank you for Callum Hudson-Odoi in their Twitter account, saying, "Get this guy out of here." Look, there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason for us to check him out in pre-season. Enough's enough. We need to be very, very ruthless about these things. He needs to be sold immediately. I don't know where, but he needs to be sold. Maybe a championship just to kickstart his career again. I don't think any Premier League clubs will be taking him. We certainly don't have any spot for him up front. Well, once again, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you think about Callum Hudson-Odoi's future as well at Chelsea Football Club and everything that we've talked about, but mostly in regards to Mason Mount, the story of him and Declan Rice moving to Arsenal Football Club. Comment below how you feel about everything that we've talked about. Smash the like button. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for live tomorrow. Till then, see ya.